you look at this mark, we really put a lot of pressure on ourselves that it needed to tell stories that were unique to the Timberwolves, unique to Minneapolis, unique to Minnesota, unique to the heritage of this place, as well as the vision that they're casting for moving forward. And as you look at this mark, of course you start to see the traits that go all the way back to the original identity of the Timberwolves, and the logo that I know people lovingly call Shep, and how beloved that mark is, and the traits of that identity and how it represented this team. And in the current identity, the Howler logo, which has been an evolution of the Shep logo. And we realized pretty early on that what we were talking about for an identity to represent this team, it wasn't a complete overhaul. It wasn't this revolution that needed to happen. This is an evolving and growing of the story of what it means to be the Timberwolves. The good, the bad, the learning from it, the reactions that happen, and continuing with those traits that are powerful to this club. And so when we looked at this identity, we knew it was going to have to follow in that progression. And so the elements that came into the mark that were new, the inclusion of the North Star representing this special place in the world, the inclusion of this vibrant green that we call this ice green that you see, and yet it also it's calling in the Northern Lights, and how we see that spark in this identity. We see the use of that green in the North Star itself, in the eye of the Timberwolf as he's looking to that. It's reflecting on that guiding factor, and that's what the North Star represents. It's a guide. I mean, globally, people recognize this star as a symbol of guidance, and the traits of this organization that will guide it into the future and who they're going to be, and the values that they hold dear. That's part of what that represents. The Howler itself, that call of the wild, what that signifies and means to a pack. The howl has several things that it does. It warns off people that are encroaching into the territory. It rallies the pack together. It's part of the sophisticated social structure and the communication that happens within the pack. And we see how important that almost that pack mentality is to this club, that relationship that's there with the fan base, and how they can rally around this idea of the wolf and the howl that rallies them together to warn off the opponents that come in. All of these things we see lived out through this identity. It threads back from the original identity through the current, and then sets this team up to move into the future in new ways, in progressive ways, but then also in ways that positions us to be able to look to that future and move out into it.